Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to Meanwhile in World of Tanks, where you know the ridiculous is going to happen. Today I'm playing in the Tier 10 French auto-loading heavy tank, the AMX 50B, and I'm quite surprised that Phil, one of my platoon mates, has a no artillery logo on the side of his T10 E5, but I guess you don't really want to be getting hit by artillery in your heavy tanks. Just how bizarre is it that Wargaming even have like a no artillery logo? For a Clan Wars reward. It is a no artillery logo, right? Yeah, it definitely looks like a no artillery logo to me. That looks like the Tier 7 Soviet self-propelled gun, the S-51, unless I'm mistaken. But how silly is it that Wargaming would have like a no artillery logo? Almost as if they're fully admitting to possibly an issue in World of Tanks. Oh gosh. No, here we go. Comment section on this video is already dead, long gone and buried. But yeah, the AMX 50B, it's fast, and when it gets there, it does pack quite a punch. Maybe not quite so much of a punch as the T57 Heavy, because it has a 2.5 second delay between each of its 400 alpha damage 120mm shells, meaning that it's going to take you 7.5 seconds to be able to fully unload this tank, rather than the 6 seconds that you can do in the T57 Heavy. Also, the frontal armor on this tank, at least on the turret, is much weaker than the T57 Heavy, but both of the vehicles, I believe, have the same gun depression at 8 degrees. Yep, it is 8 degrees. Elevation, however, not so good at 12 degrees, so certainly watch up if you have to aim up at your opponents. But we've got quite a nice little combo here, 2 AMX 50Bs and 1 T10 E5. So Phil is going to be, hopefully, the anvil at the front, and me and John are going to be the hammer, and take a look to see what kind of a hammer we pack with the AMX 50B here. That's 2 into the T10, 3 into the T10, and good night, sweetheart, he is taken out. 1,315 damage dealt within 7.5 seconds of the first shot. But oh gosh, Phil has taken a hell of a beating from all of these vehicles, and so I decide it's time to do my duty, right? I get in front of Phil, I try to protect him, I even managed to ricochet a shell, I think, from the T44 right there. Fair enough, not the largest caliber tank shooting at me. But it felt good to try and get Phil back into cover, because he was really the one who allowed me to be able to fully unload on that T10. I was hoping that he wasn't going to lose quite as much health as that, but there's a really big threat on the enemy team, and that is the FV4005 with the joint largest gun on any tank in the game. So we're going to push forwards, and we're going to try and punish that Tier 10 British. Nearly said self-propelled gun. It does look like it's a self-propelled gun, but it's actually a tank destroyer, and John's going for him. I put one into the T34. Now I'm fully reloading. I notice there's a T10 E4 on my right, and oh my... What? I'm sorry, what? Did that Jagdpanzer E100 just drive straight past me, completely ignore shooting an AMX 50B, and punish this poor AMX 1390? Well, I think it's my lucky days. But you know what? I just say, hey John, why not run away in true French fashion? Oh gosh, I've ruined the comment section again. Let's not go there. But yeah, the AMX 50B is definitely able to relocate. If I was in a T57 Heavy, I would just have to grit my teeth, bear it, try and reload fast, which the tank does. It does reload a lot quicker than the AMX 50B. But this vehicle, able to go at 65 kilometers an hour, and has the engine power to at least get up to 50-55 along the flat, as we're seeing here. You know, why not run away from that situation and change the flank positions? If I'd stayed over there, we were just going to get overwhelmed. It doesn't matter how many autoloaders we have. Me and John would have probably been taken out before we managed to reload again. However, why not use our mobility to flank, or shall I say avoid the maneuver coming from the south, and try and help our friends out in base, because we don't want to get pincered. So my idea here was with John that maybe we can try and push along the north. So I tell in game chat, boys, we push, and then I ping the map. And then look at this, we do actually get a pretty nice charge here. The AMX 30B, definitely a competent player, along with the 5100. Not so sure about the Type 61. Maybe he's focused up on some shots over there, or maybe he's just chilling, getting some coffee or something. So I fluff up my first shot on the T49, but John does manage to take him down. And this is where I make a bit of a mistake. Well, mistake, shall I say, get unlucky? I think John makes a little bit of a mistake. John went absolutely crazy here. Look at that. Yeah, I think that was a little too bold. I think maybe we should have fired off our magazines cleaner and waited for our single-shot tanks to go in. But finally we put one shot from our magazine in, and oh, another shell dips. I should have aimed that one slightly higher and further to the right. What a disastrous miss, and I only managed to penetrate, I think, one shell from that entire magazine. You simply can't do that. But one thing that I'm doing here, which is really cool, is even though I'm reloading, the E50M doesn't know that, and he's pulling back. If the E50M had known that I was reloading and I had turned my turret round behind me and I'd started reversing, then he would have probably come up to have more shots at me. One thing that you must do is if you think that your enemies don't know that you're reloading for sure, drive slowly at them. Pretend like you're still wanting to shoot them, and in that situation, then you're probably going to avoid getting shot. And the E50M pulls back down the ridge, doesn't shoot a reloading AMX-50B, and I keep a little bit of my health intact. But this game, it's certainly not going very well, right? The enemies managed to push in through the south, and they're all pretty healthy. We've got an IS-3 on 100% of his hit points. The T-34, however, is on low hit points, and the E50M advances. Oh no, the IS-3 takes out the Type 61, who looks like he was AFK for this entire battle. That is rather unfortunate. And the E50M falls to the Jagdpanzer E100. I don't know what he was doing going quite so aggressive up there. Here we have a full health IS-3, a full health T124, and a Jagdpanzer E100 who was, I think, on 70% hit points. And so, I'm going to come up with a very sneaky plan. So I'm going to communicate with this AMX-30, I'm going to ping the enemy base, I'm going to tell him, let's go. Because I think the enemy team are greedy. I think they're all on full hit points, and when people are on full hit points, they're generally willing to take a lot of risks at the end of the game, especially when there are two French high-tier tanks to be able to take out that are on low hit points, and for the T124 and the Jagdpanzer E100, we were a one-shot. And you know what? Big shout out to this AMX-30, what's his name? Hemgang! Really appreciate playing with you in this one. Oh god, they're capping. Please be greedy, please be greedy, please be greedy, please be greedy, please be greedy. Come on, leave the cap. Come on, come over the ridge. Big juicy French tanks take out. Yes, okay. Okay, greedy enemy team is greedy, and we managed to spot the Jagdpanzer E100 trundling into the middle of the map. Where is he even off to? Let's take a quick look. Oh, we've lost vision on him. I think he was making his way towards here, thinking that we'd probably be sneaking around the back. But I don't think he realizes quite how fast this Tier 10 French heavy tank is. And also the Tier 9 French medium tank, the AMX-30. Both able to go at 65 kilometers an hour. However, the AMX-50B, quite a lot heavier, does need to gain some momentum to be able to reach that 65 kilometers an hour. And now we spot the enemy artillery scurrying away. We don't fire at him because we don't want to give away our plan. We both enter the cap circle within a couple of seconds of each other, and that's something that's very important that you must do. And now the enemy must be absolutely worried about what has happened. Oh gosh, those sneaky French buggers have managed to get across and take our base. And we're all big, slow tank destroyers and heavy tanks that aren't going to be able to get there. I expect that the T124 drove straight through the cap circle, and the IS-3 was waiting here to get some spots on the French tanks and make some shots across. And now we're ahead. They get 2 tanks into the cap circle, but we're actually ahead by 12 seconds. So that means actually 14 seconds, which means that we are going to be able to win. If you manage to have 5 or 10 seconds left, then that'll be okay. Now we're just waiting for the artillery. Will the artillery come back? 5, 4, 3. Oh, it misses! No, don't do it! And we win. Cap secured. Okay, don't kill him anymore. Okay, he extends the duration of the game by another 5 seconds. Remember, whenever a tank dies in World of Tanks, they get another 5 seconds worth to be able to either draw the game or to be able to kill everyone. So that artillery nearly managed to do it at the end there, but luckily my AMX-30 did not get caught in the blast. We fully cap out, and we snatch a victory, certainly from the jaws of defeat. But you know what's absolutely bizarre about this replay? Hold on, isn't this AMX-30 the only one who's alive on our team versus 5 tanks? Yes, he was, and so that means that he actually gets the Kolobanov's medal, the one that everyone wants for standing alone and winning against at least 5 opponents. But I'm certainly not sure it was the same as killing 5 opponents. That has to be one of the easiest Kolobanov's medals I have seen anyone fed in World of Tanks. But then again, congratulations to Hemgang on taking that one down, picking up a great medal. And you know what? He actually deserved it, because most players would not have listened to a plan that somebody came up with in the battle chat. And I think it was pretty much our only chance to be able to win this one. And our personal result wasn't that bad either. 3,400 damage. I did miss up one of my magazines massively, and that combined with John Harmon's YOLO rush, maybe a little bit too aggressive at the end there. And yeah, we turned the situation from being a game where we could have probably picked up a large damage game between us, and killed all of the enemy to we're going to have to do something really special to be able to win this one. But the AMX 50B is certainly a fun tank, and I think they platoon quite well, especially when you combo them up with something like a T10 with impressive frontal armor to be able to make the breach, hopefully get the ricochet, or at least have a chance of getting the ricochet, and follow that up with an almighty 1600 average damage magazine, unless you're a potato like me and you can't aim. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, found it mildly amusing. If you did, please consider giving it a like, it really helps the channel out. And let me know in the comments what is the most ridiculous example of a game being completely thrown by the enemy team, or your team, like you saw here. And as always, thank you so much for watching, you've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.